Hi, welcome to another episode of Just Living Designs podcast. My name is Shannon, Just Living Designs. I knit a lot and I make design my own knitting patterns, which you can find the links to my shops down below, Ravelry, Payhip, and Lovecrafts. This is episode number 7. Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining me again. If you've been here before or if you're new, thanks for coming along for the fun ride. We'll get right into things. First and foremost, I'll talk about what I'm wearing, and then I have a new design coming out and I will show that. And I have a lot of finished objects and I have some whips and also some Christmas socks to show for the family. And then I'll talk about some acquisitions at the end, life stuff, reading, watching, all that type of stuff. So if you're just here for the yarny stuff, I'll let you know when I transition to the other stuff. But to start with what I'm wearing, I am wearing DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. This is actually the same yarn and color that she designed this pattern in. It is just a circular yoke, straight knitting. So there's no color work, there's no textures, there's no nothing. It's just stockinette. But the yarn is a Tweedy yarn, and this yarn is fairly local. It is from Mountain Meadow Wool, and they are in Buffalo, Wyoming, which is like a couple hours away from here. Maybe 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. And this is the Merino Tweed Sport, or just Tweed Sport, I guess is what it's called. And this is Flint, I believe is the color. It's like a marls of taupey and brown. And I love it. It's very comfy. It's very warm. The base is very similar to yardage wise and springy factor to the Farmer's Daughter Fibers Recollect and Reminisce, their sport base of it, their white color of it. It's spun at the same mill, like it's Mountain Meadow Wool's their mill. So a lot of yarns that you might know of are spun down there, so it's kind of cool. So that's what I'm wearing. I'm also wearing socks. If you follow me on Instagram, I've actually had a parade of my festive socks since December 1st. And I saved a little saved story so you can see all of them. I don't have enough to make it all the way to Christmas yet. I'm working on that, but I think I have at least 14 pairs. There's some new ones that you'll see today that will add to that count. All right, we'll start with things. Well, actually, let's start with the new design. I have numerous versions of this design to show you guys. Actually, I'll do one of each on my blocker here. So this is a new sock design. It is just finishing up testing and should be released by the time this podcast comes out. Today is actually Wednesday, December 13th, at like 10:30ish in the no, almost 11 in the morning. I got started a little later, but I believe I'm going to release the pattern on Friday, and so I'll probably publish this video on Friday as well, the 15th of December. And I always do a little coupon code with my sock, all my design releases, and these will have one as well. I will put it down below because I haven't decided what the code's going to be yet. So I'll put it down below with the link to the pattern. But this is Time May Change Me socks, and it is designed with self-striping yarn. So whenever you get to a new stripe, there's a little transition row to do, and it's designed either toe up or top down. This one was knit toe up, and this one was knit top down. And then it has an afterthought heel. So this one I use the contrast color, and this one I use the self-striping color because I kind of like how that looks sometimes. You guys have, if you've been around, you know I like that, how that looks. So these are the two that I've released with the pattern, like within the pattern page. I've knit one other pair since then, plus my Advent socks that I'm working on, which I forgot to bring up. I might have to stop and go get those when it gets time to showing whips. But yeah, so this is my new sock design, and it is inspired by Changes, the song Changes by David Bowie. But I didn't want to just name the socks Changes or Cha-Cha Changes. I thought it would be fun, but I like the Time May Change Me, because time may change you. And it just, every time you change a color, you do a little fun row, and then you're just knitting stockinette most of the time. You could do this also with, I had some testers that striped their own stripes instead of using a self-striping, but I have so much self-striping yarn because I love it. So these two yarns, I'll talk about that as well. This one is knit with Area 51 fibers in their Nutcracker colorway. And then the mini was Sonder Yarn Co. One of their mini, they had some mini sets a while back for sale, and I bought a couple of them, and this is one of them that was in a mini set. I don't know what color it actually is, but they're both 80-20 base, so they're a bit plumper. And this was just a 50-gram skein that I got a full pair of socks. I use like every single thing out of it. Full pair of women's socks out of 50 grams, and then the 20-gram mini. So that worked really well. This one is, let's see, I have it written down somewhere. This one is Freckled Whimsy. Every Day is All About Me. It's one of her Wednesday clubs that I was involved in. And then the mini I used is variegated from Dragon Horde Yarn from a Halloween Advent I did a few years back. That was the Dark Crystal inspired. So this one's called The Hunter. And I thought it just went well. I like to put like a speckled or a variegated mini with solid stripes sometimes, because it just adds a little more fun. And yeah, so these will be for my daughter. These are some of my new Christmas socks. All right. So yeah, like I said, Time May Change Me socks should be released when this video comes out. I will have a coupon code for 15% off. That will run about a week. It's usually how long it runs. Maybe I'll run it all the way to Christmas. We'll see. But yeah, I'll have all the details down below once I figure out what that code is. So we'll go straight into finished objects from there, because I have another pair from that design. Let's see, we'll get these ones off the blocker. I'll just put one on the blocker. And this is another pair that I just knit up for myself. This is like one of the very first skeins of Woolens and Nosh that I bought, and it is actually not her normal Targhee base that most people have. This one's the Corriedale base, so it's a bit thicker. It's more like a sport weight, I would say. I still used US 1 and 1.5 up here for the cuff, but I did like 52 stitches to get it to fit me well. And like I said, I used my new little pattern in it, and I just thought it looked really good. This pattern looks better with if your stripes aren't too thin. Like if it's only like 2 or 3 rows, it might not, well, 3 rows might be all right, but like you want at least 4 or 5 rows, and this one usually had 5 or 6 rows, I think, between them. So they're a bit wider. Anyway, so yeah, this is Woolens and Nosh in Mr. Fezziwig colorway. It was an 80-gram main color with the 20-gram mini. So total, it was 100 grams. And I used less than, I didn't use the full main and I didn't use the full mini, but that's also because I didn't cast on a ton of stitches. But yeah, I did the striping on the heel again. And so yeah, another new pair of Christmas festive socks for me. So I'm excited about that. All right, so those are all the new design socks. Okay, and then let's see. I have my son's finished Christmas socks. These ones I was working on last time, I believe I started them. Or maybe I started them right after the podcast, I can't remember. But these are knit toe up, just my vanilla sock recipe with a 3x1 rib, and then 1x1 at the cuff, and an afterthought heel. This yarn, I think I did talk about it. This yarn is Mustache Yarns in Father Christmas, and then the mini was a Sock Club colorway from the first year from the Farmer's Daughter Fiber, and I talked about it before where my husband has socks out of this yarn. I have a pair of socks out of this yarn, and so he got the leftovers for a pair, and he likes his, if you've been around, tall, and he's got skinny little legs. So like these have been blocked, so they are keeping their straight shape just a little bit, but they're just so tall you can't even get them all in frame. But yeah, since they're ribbed all the way, if you have a problem with your socks staying up, ribbing them all the way up will help. And a 3x1 rib isn't horrible to knit. It's not my favorite to knit ribbed socks, but my whole family prefers ribbed, so they generally get ribbed socks. So that's his new pair of Christmas socks. I already showed you a couple of new pairs of my Christmas socks. And then after I finish all my FOs, I'll show you the rest of the family's Christmas socks this year. Couple more finished objects are some gifts, and these are going in the mail hopefully tomorrow or the next day. So I knit an elf by Susan B. Anderson, and this I got last year maybe. I got a kit for these, and I have plenty of yarn to make so many more. So the kit comes with Barrett Wool Co.'s Woolen Sport, and it came with the red, the lighter green, a darker green, and the white, I believe, or you could choose your skin color maybe. And then I added the brown to add. So sometimes I'll do brown as one of the other things or as the skin color. It's nice to have different skin colors on your things. But this one I decided to do a brown scarf, so I did a white face so you could see the scarf. But yeah, remember I talked about this last time, but I always just make a little handmade tag by me and then what it is. If it has, like, this should not ever have to get washed, but if it's something with washing instructions, I will put the washing instructions on it as well. The other thing I made is we make ornaments every year for our nieces and nephews and our kiddos, and one of our nephews, it's the last year because he turned 18, so I decided to make him a special little one, and this is Grumpy the Lump of Coal. It was a pattern from the Knit Picks website from a long time ago. I think it was even free back then, and now it's no longer available, so you guys can't get it, but I just knitted out a Knit Picks palette. This is only the second time I've ever knit this pattern. It's hilarious. It's just a little wee lump of coal that's grumpy and unhappy, and then they do have a pattern as well that's a Santa hat that you can put on it, but I like it by itself. And we put a little tag every year. So this is 2023. The other side has his name. And that way they know which ornaments are theirs and what year it was made out of and all that stuff. And this is just one of those like label makers, those sticky paper label makers that we stick on. So he got a special one this year. Everybody else has a different type of ornament. But yeah, and this is just slightly felted. So when you stuff it, you don't stuff it too full, so you can felt it a bit in the machine. But yeah, I love him. He's hilarious. Anyways, so that's the rest of the gift knits. So hopefully they can get out in the mail. And that's the rest of the finished objects, because some of the finished objects I showed you with the pattern design, because I had finished up a couple of those socks. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of everybody else's Christmas socks that I finished earlier in the year. These are for my daughter, and this, oh, wrong blocker. That's my husband's. No wonder it was so stretched out. These are for my daughter. It is Legacy Fiber Arts in the Grinch colorway. It was I believe it was a micro sock set. So it came with a 50-gram main skein and then a 20-gram mini. And these are a replacement pair. So this is You got this pattern. It is one of my designs that has, it's written just toe up. You can always knit it top down too because it has a short row heel, but this is a German short row heel that has a couple extra rows in it. And I kind of like how it looks sometimes when you have the extra rows with the little chin strap is what I call it. Some people don't like that. I think it's kind of cute. My daughter always liked that. And I made the original design had a version with this, but her feet grew since then. So I had to knit her another pair because she was bummed that they didn't fit anymore. And she wanted the exact same pattern as the last time. So it's got 3x1 on the leg and then 1x1 for the cuff. So those will be her new Christmas socks. And then my husband's new Christmas socks. It's another Legacy Fiber Arts Christmas yarn. And this one is Christmas Vacation. And this one was a 100-gram sock set because I need more than 50 to make his socks. And it had a mini. And so I did just the mini at the toe and the cuff. And then this is a sock pattern. You can see it better when it's not stretched out as much on the blocker, especially from back here. You can kind of see the patterning. But this is the Minecraft socks pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I altered it, 1, for my stitch count, 2, to have it located over the foot evenly. And then 3rd, I did a square heel turn instead of the triangle. So it's got like a Dutch heel on it. So I altered it a lot, but it's just a simple knit purl texture and very easy to alter. But yeah, so that's his pair of Christmas socks and he's looking forward to these. Back in July, I made a handful of Christmas socks. And so I think I made myself, no, I didn't make myself a pair in July. I made my daughter 2 pairs, so she got 1 pair right away. And then I made this pair for Christmas in July. It got me a head start on our Christmas socks. So I try to make everybody a new pair a year. And sometimes I make a lot more than that. All right, I think that's all for finished objects, Christmas socks, new design, and we're gonna go into works in progress. So I'm gonna pause right here and come right back. All right, I'm back. I wanted to run downstairs and grab my Advent socks. So I guess I'll just start with those for WIP. So these I started on December 1st, and I decided to throw in, like I said, my new design. Since Advent socks are generally, a lot of self-stripers will do a 24 striped sock design, and this is Freckled Whimsies. This year I did not order the mini that came with it, and I just used one for my stash. Can kind of, maybe on the side, see a bit better. It's like a white with just these barely there blue speckles that I thought would go well with this. So this is knit toe up. I'm knitting actually 2 at a time. And then I have my markers in here for my placement, and I am up to date today, so 13th stripe on mine, but it seems like everyone that I've seen online, they have different where they started. And like where my skein started, it wasn't a full color stripe. There was a color before this blue, and since it wasn't full, I didn't want to use it, so I just went up to the next stripe and went into that, because when I was winding them up, I noticed that it repeated more than twice, just over twice. So there's plenty of yarn to use. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use the mini for the heels or if I'm just going to use some more of the striping. We'll see where it all lands and we'll decide then. So yeah, there's my pair of Advent socks. And like I said, it's from Freckled Whimsy. And oh, I guess I could show you the bag it's in. This is my 2 at a time sock bag. And it is made by My Needle Crafts. You can see in there. And the reason I use it for 2 at a time is because it's made to, it's split in the middle, and it has this like sewn in pouch that you can put notions or whatever you need. So I have one skein on one side with the mini and the other skein on the other side with the mini, and it just keeps the skeins separated, and then it's just a lot easier to knit out of. And I have a little Grocery Girl Sock Talk marker on here, and I know that that's how it should be. That should be on the right when I'm knitting, and so it's all set up the right way, and it works really well. So those are and I usually don't stick it down in the bag because it's every morning I work on it. So it's just there. But yeah, there's my Advent socks for this year. I've been doing self-striping Advent socks every year since 2019. So this is my 4th year, and that's my preferred Advent. I mean, like I said before, I did buy a 4-week Advent, so it's like once every Sunday, and I got 2 of them open so far, so I'll show you guys those in the acquisitions as well. All right, next is another sock whip. This one, I actually just finished the first one this morning. Let's see, find the right, is that the big or little? That's the smaller one, okay. I just finished it this morning. I haven't cast on the second one yet. This is the Rocks Socks pattern by me. I released this one earlier this year, I believe. It is a fun little like textured pattern, and it's knit top down with a traditional heel flap and gusset with the triangle turn. I actually added a little pop of color at the top. This one's knit out of a sock set that I bought a couple years back. I knit a pair of socks for my daughter out of it 2 years ago, and hers has the green mini because it came with 2 minis, the green and the red, and there was just a little bit of green left, so I wanted it at the top of these socks. And it has from Rose Hill Yarns, and it is a vintage claws colorway. And I had more than 60 grams left of the main color after I knit hers. I didn't make them as tall as I usually make her socks back when I made them because she liked shorter socks then. So I had more than, usually I use closer to 50 grams for her socks. But then I use most of the contrast heel, toes, and cuffs. And so I'm just using the rest up. I mean, I have out of the first, these were split already into 2 cakes because I think I taught a 2 sock class out of this. But this is what I have left. Not very much. I didn't even weigh it, but I would gather maybe 5 grams from the main color. So yeah, that's one. It's a hoe. I will start the second one probably today because like I said, I just finished him up this morning. And this is from my Fat Squirrel bags, one of her Christmassy ones that came out this year. It's like little gnomes dressed up as Santa. And then I just started the other day, which is hilarious that I'm starting gift knits for next year already, before the end of the year. But I've been wanting to knit my brother-in-law a hat for a while, and he likes simple, plain, and I've had this yarn in stash for a while. I don't even have the tag anymore, but it is a big old skein, just black yarn. I believe it is Ba Yarns in the La Jolla, which is 100% superwash. It's a bit chunkier of a fingering weight. And I'm making a muscle barrel hat out of this. And this actually has one of my new acquisitions on it. It is a little cute raccoon with a scarf from Charmed and Dangerous. I have one more on my next acquisition as well. Oh, and on my current socks, I didn't show you guys the charm from that one because it wasn't on the sock anymore. So I have to start the next sock. This one is from Simply Serving, and it's a little Grinch. I love him. But it went really well with that sock. So that one went on that. And this is a little progress keeper for my muscle burrow. Like, if you've been around, you saw me, it takes a while for me to make a muscle burrow. It's just a good knitting. I was watching Dune last night, rewatching Dune last night with my son. We didn't get through all of it because it's a long movie. He's also reading the book right now, so, but that's about how much I knit on it in the dark, watching a movie with him, so. Takes a while. And this bag is from my friend Jane, Rose and the Wren. That's her little insignia on the back. This was one of her holiday bags from last year. She does a lot of patchworky quilt bags, and I just love them. This one's really like Scandinavian for me. Yeah. And then my last whip is the jelly roll blanket. And I have done some work on this, and I got actually a new bin. This is just from Target. It's big and quite hard, but my bag that it was in, it was just getting so hard to stuff back in there with the minis. So I got a new bin. And let's see, I am not done with this 9th strip, but last time I showed you, I'll put this down on the floor. Last time I showed you, I was down at the bottom of that strip. Let's see. It was way down here. And this is my other new Charmed and Dangerous charm. It's a little cardinal and a winter tree. So this one's festive, and so is the raccoon, but like wintry. So I don't have to just have it at Christmas time. I can have it all winter. But yeah, so I was almost done with that beginning color of that 9th strip. And then I did, and like I said, most of these are leftovers from socks. So there's leftover bit, leftover bit, leftover bit, leftover bit. And I'm on this color. And once this one's done, because I have that much left of this, there'll probably be enough room to add another one. I don't think it will get me all the way up to the top. So I'll add something up there, and then that will be the top. And then I'll start the 10th strip, and it might be wide enough at that point. I'll have to look and see. Oh, and here's my little Oogie Boogie point protector. I have the one on the other one that's just sitting in here because these are extremely sharp. These are the needle, I don't remember what they are. They're no longer in business, but they were like very expensive, very nice needles. And I use a size 2 for my sock yarn blankets that are just held single. So yeah, it is getting there. It's hard to show, but I think it's getting, like, I just want this to be a couch blanket, and I want it to be wide enough because my son usually like snuggles under the couch on the couch with me. He's still a snuggle bug, so I'll take it as long as I get it. And yeah, so I might do one more strip and I'll lay it out and measure it because there is a I-cord border that I am planning on doing. But that's one of those things where it might take me a while, and if I get tired of it, I can just throw a like locking stitch marker in it and let it sit for a bit and still use it. I use it while I'm knitting it right now because it's so big. All right, so that is all the knitting content. I know it was a lot because I've got a new design coming out, and I've got a few, wrapping up some gift knits, and then I wanted to show you guys all the new Christmas socks that I've been making for the whole family. And so, yeah, it's a lot. All right, so let's see. Acquisitions? First, I'm going to talk about the candle back here because I forgot last time when I went to Small Business Saturday at the Yarn Bar, they have some of Veronica Candle Co. There, and I wanted to buy it from a small business of a small business, and so I bought her seasonal scent of Evergreen. Love it. It's great. I've talked about these before. I am an affiliate with her. So down below, you'll see my affiliate link. And then there's also a coupon code to save some money if you would like to. But yeah, this is a great, she hand makes these vessels. They're like cement. And then you can get refillables for it. So once you burn through your candle, you can save money, especially on shipping. If you're getting it shipped, it won't be so heavy and you're just buying the refill to put in there. And so it's sustainable and it's awesome. I love them. I have many scents now of hers. Local to Billings candle maker as well. So if you're local, you can actually do, I think she has two different options. You can do hand delivery, which is cheaper than getting it mailed. And then you can do a pickup at one of the local shop in town. She'll just drop off your candles in a bag there, and then you can go pick them up. And that's free for the shipping part of it. All right, let's get into some acquisitions. Okay, first I'm gonna do, I won a couple of things recently. Let's see if I can find it all in here. Okay. So I won a sock bash prize from the Grocery Girls a few months back, and it came in the mail recently. So Grocery Girls, if you don't watch them, they're hilarious. I love them. I've been watching them for a very long time. And they send you a little hand note, which is cool. And then, they sent a couple of their pins. So this one is sheep with a little hat on it in their colors. And then this is them as sheep, little button pin. So I got those. And then they sent some yarn. This is an olive ornament kit. But I'm guessing this is a yarn shop, Knit and Purl, but this is Rebecca Danger pattern. I have a book of her knitted monsters. So this is just awesome. And it comes with the yarn. I'm not all sure what's in here. I haven't opened it up yet, but it has the pattern and the yarn in there. I don't know when I'll make it, but I probably will make it because we like the monsters and we like the little ornaments. So they're very cute. And then also it had this, the Blue Brick Dye Works yarn. This is Killarney Sock Twins Gradient. So it's 2 mirrored gradients, 150 yards each. And the colorway is Panama, but I'm guessing they sent it this time of year because it looks very Christmassy, and I think it's Christmassy, and this might be some Christmas socks in the future. And then they sent the Creative Knitter Creative Sock, which is 100% superwash, 485 yards, and this colorway is Succulent. And again, it leans into that Christmas mode. I think this would make a really pretty, I don't like to use non-nylon unless it's a non-superwash for socks, because the non-superwash ones will naturally felt and get a little bit tougher, so I don't mind that. But these ones, if they don't have nylon in them, even I will wear a hole in them eventually, and I'm pretty easy on my socks. So I don't like to use it for socks, but I think this would make a really pretty muscle burrow for somebody. So that might go on to into that bin to make muscle burrow hats. All right. So that was a little happy mail I wasn't expecting. And then let's see the order of these. I think, so this is my Advent that I bought from Legacy Fiber Arts. That was 4 weeks of micro sock sets. And this was the first week. So this is Twinkle's Tea House. And I think what they did is they pulled like 4 different colorways from their mini skate Advent and then turned them into sock sets. So they paired it with a tonal mini. And when I saw the mini, I was like, this is totally my daughter's colors because she loves purple, but I like that rusty and the mint and stuff. So I don't know. I might change the mini out and then they'd be socks for me, but we'll see. Because this next set is totally more my daughter's speed than mine. And this was last Sunday's and it was gingerbread in. And yeah, I am not a pinky purple person at all, but she loves all the colors. I mean, I do love the rusty orange in there, but yeah. So I might change out the minis. I have tons of minis, so I could take this mini out. I could even put that mini in with this one because then it would be even more color zone. And then I don't think that mini would work with this one, but I could find another mini that would work with this set. So we'll see what we do. You know, you're your own, you know, boss of your own knitting. You can do whatever you want. Remember that. And I won. My LYS has a weekly podcast where if you leave a comment, you get entered into their giveaway. And I leave comments sometimes just because I want to leave a comment for them. I'm not always trying to win by any means. But I've won a couple of times now because they don't have as big of an audience, so, or not as many people are commenting. But this one I won is for the pattern Circle of Light by Laura Nelkin. So you knit with twinkle lights into a circle. I have knit the a couple years back. There's the knitting where it's, maybe I'll put a picture if I remember to. There's the knitting where it's like you knit kind of like a square or a rectangle, and then you leave the knitting needles in it. So it's quite big needles. I think I used 13s, US 13s, either 11s or 13s. And you kind of leave them like that, and then you can hang it up, and it looks really cool. Pain in the butt to knit. This one's going to be even worse because it's in the round, but I am up for a challenge possibly. We'll see. So they gave me the pattern, and then they gave me some LED lights of the length that you need. So this is 68.5 foot, and this one's actually multicolored. So we'll see. I might put it in our window after I get it knit, if I ever get it knit, but I also have to buy the hoop ring to get it, and then you have to crochet it around there. So I don't know. I haven't really read through the pattern very well, but I intend to do this, or at least attempt this pattern. If it's way too fiddly, I will just knit the same one as I did last time with these lights, and then I'll still get a string of lights knitted. It just might not be in the circle. But I will attempt. I always attempt. And then I had, I think it's just, yeah, the Charmed and Dangerous. I already showed you those acquisitions, the two little charms that I bought. So yeah, then there's, where did I put it? Oh, Circus Tonic. They just had a trunk show. They are from Australia, and they came to the States to do a trunk show in a few different yarn shops around the area that they have yarn at. And then I think she said she was planning on staying in the States through Christmas with her family. And it was their first trip to the States. So that's kind of fun. She was bummed she didn't get to see snow here, but I think she was heading to Denver after Billions. She was here Monday, and I think she was heading to Denver after that. So hopefully they have snow at Denver. We have snow in the mountains here, but not on the ground. But yeah, so this, I bought 2 skeins of yarn from her, and this is the Deathlied BFL sock base. I love BFL yarn for socks. It's so much sturdier and still soft and cushy, and this is an 80/20, which I love. So I bought Shell Seeker, which is just this fine, like, neutral with nice mellow speckles. I might make designs out of one or both of these. And then this one was the Kookaburra, which we have one of those at the zoo. I remember when my kids were in zoo school, they did preschool at the zoo, and Sydney, the Kookaburra, was right out the way from one of the classrooms. And when the director walked through, she loved him, and she would just start making lots of noise, and we'd have to be quiet because she was so loud. But yeah, that's a nice blue with some speckles. And yeah, so these might become sock designs probably in the future. But they're very nice, very sweet, very gentle. And it was nice to meet her, so. And then the only other acquisition is actually I bought yarn from this dyer last time because it was a Christmas colorway that wasn't so Christmassy. This one's way more Christmassy, but I couldn't pass it up because it's one of our favorite Christmas movies. Not the favorite Christmas movie, but one of our favorites. This is from Whimsical Wood Yarn Company. And this is, you serious, Clark? And it came with some needle stoppers to go with it. And I just couldn't help myself. These might be my husband's Christmas socks next year. It's fantastic. I love it. Great movie, Christmas Vacation. Like I said, his Christmas socks this year are Christmas Vacation. It's one of our favorite movies, but I will say our favorite movie, I don't know if it's everybody's favorite, but it's my favorite, is White Christmas. Love it. Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye reminds me of my uncle because my uncle was a dancer and choreographer, and just the way he talks and the way he moves, totally my uncle. Anyways, so yeah, I love that movie. That's my favorite Christmas movie. We haven't watched it yet this year because we never get any time to watch things as a family. It stinks. We actually wrote a list out of all the Christmas movies we wanted to watch, and everybody put a check on the ones that they absolutely had to watch. So things that not everybody wants to watch, maybe just a couple people can watch, so we can try to get through them. But it'll probably be going after Christmas this year just because there's just no time. No time. All right. I think we are all done talking about acquisitions and yarny things. Now we'll talk a bit about reading and watching and some life stuff. Again, if you don't want to see, hear about that stuff, you can, thanks for joining me. This is a longer episode because I just have so much stuff to talk about. So reading, I finished a book. I finished the second book from Rebecca Yarros, Iron Flame. This one, it took me just over 2 weeks to read, maybe, if that. I was reading it last week. I got it right after it came out. I think it took me 2 or 3 weeks. Usually it takes me a lot longer to read books because I only read at night, but her books, like The Fourth Wing and this one, just sucked me in, and I read way longer and stay up way later than I should. Good. I loved it. Loved the series. Can't wait for the next one. I know I have to wait like a year. The first one, Fourth Wing, I think is better than Iron Flame. That's just me personally. There's more naughty bits in this one, which is not my favorite part of books. I'd much rather just, if it gets to be too much, sometimes I'll skip over it. But yeah, very good. So after I finished that, I picked up the book that I started reading before I bought that one, which is the Stephen King fairy tale. And I'm back to reading this one at night. Oh, I'm about 120 pages into this. I wasn't very far before I got The Fourth Wing. I probably was only like 40 or 50 pages. So it wasn't that big of a deal to put it down. And I wasn't away from it for long enough that I forgot. And it was different enough from my other books, but very good. Stephen King, great storyteller. So recommend it so far. I haven't gotten to where they keep alluding to things that might happen in the future, but I haven't gotten there yet. Let's see. I'm still listening to Court of Silver Flames on Audible. That is my listening to book when I am busy doing stuff around the house, like cleaning, or lately wrapping presents, or making weird things, crafty things. Yeah, so that's my listening book. It's the last one in the series of A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I read the rest, I listened to the rest of them a long time ago and just never got to this one. So yeah, listening to that one. Let's see. Watching, mostly it's been holiday movies. Like I said, last night, my son and I started watching Dune. We still have like 50 minutes left. But the next one comes out this next year, so it'll be fun. And I think everybody probably wants to rewatch the first one. So we'll probably watch it again, maybe even over Christmas break. We'll see. We watched some older, more classic Christmas movies. We watched Candy Cane Lane. Well, 3 of us did. My daughter was out of town. It was all right. The Eddie Murphy movie, is that on Prime, maybe? Amazon Prime? It was okay. It was funny and interesting. The animation was great. Watched Christmas with the Cranks is the first time I ever watched it. I watched it by myself just to see if other people might like it. It was okay. It was way corny, in my opinion. It felt like they were trying to be like Christmas Vacation, and it didn't hit the mark. And then the other night I watched Last Christmas by myself, and that one is with Amelia Clark, the girl that plays the dragon blonde lady on what is that? The HBO series. Everybody, I can't think of what it's called right now, but the Game of Thrones. And then it also has another actress that I really like. She's older, Emma Thompson. Maybe is that her name? She's in it. She's great. It was a really good movie. It was different, not as feel-goody of a Christmas movie as some of them until the end. It gets, it turns around, but it was a good movie. I enjoyed that one. First time I saw it, I think it came out like 5 years ago. So I just stumbled upon it when I was going through our streaming services. Yeah, and then, watching football, watching just random. Yeah, I watch a lot of podcasts right now. Vlogmases are on, so I've been watching. The regular people that I follow, I've been watching their Vlogmases. I haven't discovered any new ones by any means, but I watch Nitty Natty and Crazy Sock Lady and Sandy by the Lakeside and Chelsea Yarns. Is that all of them that have Vlogmases that I watch? I think so. That's what I do when I'm knitting usually. And like I said, I'm taking a break from designing. I have some designs that will be coming, I'll be able to get tested in the new year that are already done. Well, one's done, ready for testers. The other one I still have to do a video tutorial for and then finish writing up the pattern. Then I could get it to testers. So I have a couple waiting in the wings, but I'm taking a little break to the end of the year. I'm not going to work. I have ideas for things that I might get started, but it's nothing I'm going to push myself for by any means. Yeah, I think that's about it. Life stuff is speech tournaments. My daughter had those the last 2 weekends. Now there's a bit of break until after the holiday break. Then that first weekend back, they have one that's more local, and guess who gets to judge? Me and my husband. So we'll be judging. I was in debate in high school. I judged tournaments when I was in college, but it's changed a lot since then. So we'll see. My husband was never in any of it, so it's going to be brand new for him. But it should be fun. I enjoy, it's everybody should watch a speech or debate, go and watch and see what these kids can do and capable of. It's good. We went to last week on Friday, we went to my husband's office Christmas party. It was up in the 22nd floor of one of our big downtown buildings, so you can see outside all the city lights and the refineries, which are pretty at night. They're all lit up, but anyways, it's pretty to look outside from there. And we've been there for Christmas parties for his previous company for many years. We don't always go to the Christmas parties, but this company is a lot smaller, so it was a lot more low key. And we played bingo at the end, and that was fun. I did not win. It was a bummer, but our friends won, so that was good. Let's see, just working, like I said, I'm trying getting this pattern out. By the time you see this, it will be out. We went about a week and a half ago. The week after Thanksgiving, we went and got our tree on that Sunday, and then got the house all decorated and everything. You can see back here, I got a poinsettia. It's giant. It's my son's middle school sells poinsettias, and they grow some of them in the greenhouse, and then they usually sell way more than they can. So then they ship in a lot more because it's one of the ways that they support that classes, where they can buy more things for the greenhouse. And they have a little big plant sale in the spring too, where they sell vegetables and flowers and stuff as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. And like I said, I will have this new pattern, Time May Change Me. This will come out by the time this video comes out. I will have a coupon code that you can purchase it for a little bit of a discount. And like I said, I don't know what that code is yet, so I will have it written down below in the description box with a link to the pattern on Ravelry. You will be able to also use that code on PayHip. I can't put codes into Lovecrafts because I have to physically change the amount every time I have a sale, so I usually don't run the sales on Lovecrafts at all. I run them on both PayHip and Ravelry because I can do coupon codes for a set amount of time there. But yeah, it's great for self-striping socks. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have a good holiday. If you celebrate Christmas, if you're celebrating Hanukkah, it should be wrapping up shortly. Yeah, Kwanzaa, all the things. Whatever you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, enjoy the season of winter, and soon it will start getting to be longer days again. Can't wait, because right now our sun sets around before 4:30. Yeah, so hope you guys have a good 2 weeks. I hope to be back in 2 weeks. It will be after Christmas, and maybe I'll have somebody else on the podcast with me if people are home. So that'd be great. All right, you guys have a great time. Please subscribe, like if you like this video, leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite Christmas movie is, or what you like to work on in the Christmas season. Like, do you start selfish knitting again? I've already started selfish knitting again. But yeah, what do you guys work on? All right. Have a good 2 weeks. Have a good holiday break. Thanks.